On today's primetime local news, Council says new budget sets them up well into 2020, but the 2.5 tax levy will remain the same.
We really are doing a lot for that 2.5%, and administration has done a fantastic job of keeping spending in line.
And a new French program opens up new opportunities for grade 9 students at Holy Rosary.
Our schedules are so jam-packed with being in the French program, so we don't have time to have spares like the English program kids would.
Plus, Santa's helpers are getting set for Rudolph's Roundup to help women and children in need this Christmas.
Hey, I'm Eric Bay, and today we are looking ahead to Christmas, and more specifically this weekend with the 2% Realty Toy Drive. They're holding it here for the second year, and they're looking for some toys here to donate around the area here in Lloydminster. So we're going to have more on that here throughout the show.
Prime time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening, I'm Judy Gabriel. After weeks of discussion, research, and planning, the City of Lloydminster has approved the 2020 budget, predicting a slight surplus of the operational side, while still going with their 2.5 tax increase. Josh Ryan has more from City Hall.
There are further steps to confirming city spending and revenues for the new year, which will take the process through to the spring. However, Lloydminster now has a workable budget prior to December.
Without a budget, the city can't move forward on January 1st. We want to ensure the employees are paid. And by statute, we have to approve a budget. So do we approve an operating budget? Do we approve the capital budget? In this case, we've approved a budget with the promise, as it was indicated, it will be reviewed.
The tax levy increase of 2.5% remains, but it also means there aren't cuts coming to services.
We really are doing a lot for that 2.5%, and administration has done a fantastic job of keeping spending in line and doing that in a way where we're not reducing services at all.
The arenas are going to be open the same amount of time. The swimming pool is going to be open the same amount of time. All those things continue to be cost drivers at the city, and that's what the residents want.
Several capital items from the first draft were cut, which will result in more money for the reserve.
There was a lot of projects that were turned back simply just due to the capital costs or the costs to put together. We just don't have that ability today to meet everybody's wishes list.
This comes while adjusting for large increases to costs for RCMP and fire services.
The RCMP contract's going up by 2.4%. Now, that's not the total budget, but that's just one example. $800,000 3 years ago to $3.5 million to operate the fire service that protects the people and the businesses of this community. It's the reality that we have today. So those are all things that have come into play.
Council also believes that this better prepares the city for dealing with major projects in the future.
We are continuing to wean ourselves off of utility revenue so that in the future, when we have our new water treatment plant, that funds remaining can be used to pay the long-term debt.
More challenges are certainly on the way, not even including calculating the mill rate, which will affect what the budget ultimately looks like. But for now, a significant portion of the legwork is done in preparation for 2020. Josh Ryan, Primetime Local News, City Hall.
Well, everyone knows Rudolph for lighting up the sky with his bright red nose, but students at the Lloydminster Comprehensive High School are lighting up the community in a different way and have been doing so for over 20 years with their annual Rudolph Roundup. Our Jasmine King has more.
The Rudolph's Roundup is a fundraiser put on by students at the Lloyd Comp High School. The event is put on every year to help support the Interville Home.
The Rudolph's Roundup is a 20-plus year tradition where the whole school really comes together to support the community and the Interville Home particularly. The idea is that every child there should have a present, and our goal is to get enough toys and items for the whole year, not just Christmas.
While the students and teachers bring in items for the fundraiser, they are also participating in a school-wide competition.
The idea is that every class competes, and they bring items in, and we have double and triple point days with things that the Interville Home needs the most. So toys, soap, shampoos. Every class competes, and the winning class will get a pizza party. And it's really just to push teachers, and teachers will go against each other too and really stir each other up.
Two of the students are organizers for the event, and they like to see how much other students get involved in the fundraiser by choosing to continue this tradition every year.
I guess it kind of just goes to show on how our community is constantly growing and staying with the tradition of this event and always being able to actually give back to our community.
A few weeks ago, the Interval Home announced they will be expanding their shelter. For some of the students, they know that this year is even more important for collecting gifts.
I think that this is super important because this is the biggest fundraiser that we do throughout the year, and this year is really cool because the Interval Home is almost doubling in size, so it's more important than it ever has been before to give back to our community. And our community supports our school division so much, and I think it's important to give back to kids that are within our own school that use those programs and the people within our own community who need the support.
The fundraiser also accepts donations from people in the community. There's a few locations where you can drop off your donation.
It goes until December 6th, which is next Friday, and we're going to have drop-off bins at Motion Fitness, Shoppers, and Home Hardware, and then we can also take donations at the school.
More information for the items you can donate is available at the school or on their website. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
The 12th annual Here Comes Santa Claus Day is set for December 7th, and with plenty of activities for the whole family to enjoy. This is a free event for everyone to check out, with activities from painting to bouncy castles to pictures with the Grinch and jolly old Saint Nick. For one of the organizers, seeing both of the Christmas legends come out makes the night that much better.
Well, my favorite thing is when Santa Claus rolls up in his sleigh with the little ponies pulling him. Reindeer get the day off, and that's probably my favorite time, is when the Grinch and Santa Claus arrive and all the excitement that they bring with that when they arrive for the children and for families.
Past years have had carriage rides, and due to popular demand, Here Comes Santa Day promises to make sure it happens again.
If we could bring the horse rides back, we've had hay rides, we've had tractors, and people wanted the horses back, so we'll have those back again this year as long as weather cooperates.
The event starts at 8 in the morning, and families also have a chance to win a trip for 4 to Disneyland. Well, last night we showed you a new program for the grade 9 French immersion students at Holy Rosary High School. In this week's Beyond the Classroom, our Abby St. John shows us how this program runs from the students' perspective.
The students in the French immersion program don't always have the opportunity to take other courses or have spares like the students who aren't in the program. So for the grade 9s to have the opportunity to take some grade 10 courses, it will open up their schedules for when they get into the higher grades.
They're clearing it up by doing this program because we're taking 2 grade 10 courses, so that gives us credits so we can have more opportunities when it comes to grade 11 and 12. And it is also furthering us in our communications, media, and photography, and our French.
This program gives the students not only the chance to have a more open schedule in the higher grades, but it also gives them a chance to take courses that they want to continue taking when they reach the higher grades.
For kids in their future, if they want to follow something that's involving of communications or media or photography, even like developing our French, if that's something they are interested in, this helps them and it teaches them more about it.
This will also give the French students a more flexible schedule so they won't have as big of a workload at once.
It gives us a bit of relaxation when we get into the older grades, and we're not always worrying about school and how we have this project to do one day and this project's due the next day and we have this test. It gives us time to breathe and go and hang out with friends when we do have that extra time.
By having the practical courses like photography through their second language, it will help them improve on the more technical aspects of a second language program.
Research has proven that students, when they're applying their second language in a practical course, their vocabulary improves and they become more confident because of the authentic learning environment that they're practicing their second language in.
For this week's Beyond the Classroom, I'm Abby St. John.
Don't wait until next fall to take charge of your future. Apply to Lakeland College today. For details or to apply, visit lakelandcollege.ca today.
And now we head out to Eric Bay, who was on location today.
Back here today at 2% Realty, and today we are checking out their toy drive, which is happening this weekend. Everything you do need to know, and I'm joined now by Katrina and Olivia McDonald. And so first off, can you tell us a little bit about the toy drive and what is happening here this weekend?
Well, this is our second annual event. We started this last year. December 1st is our anniversary, so we were looking for a way to kind of celebrate the occasion, and we decided that there's clearly a need in town, so we wanted to, instead of going and spending that money on ourselves, we wanted to go out and kind of try to find a way to help our community because they do so much to support us. So we teamed up with May Cinema, who we rent the theater from. They basically open up a little bit early for us outside of their normal show times so that we can have a private event. Last year we did one theater and we did the Grinch movie. We cover the cost of your admission with a donation of one new unwrapped toy. Last year we sent the toys to the Olive Tree. This year we're teamed up with the Interval Home instead. Last year's movie was The Grinch, but with Frozen 2 coming out this year, we thought we could expect a little bit more attendance with going with the new feature.
Definitely, obviously a very popular film. Already a ton of people have seen it, so it should be very good this weekend. And now with those toy donations, is there anything maybe in particular you are looking for? Certain types of toys, certain age groups, kind of that sort of stuff?
Well, as you can see with what we've kind of got set up on the couch here right now, we get a lot of toys for the younger kids, kind of everything from babies and a lot in that like 5, 6, 7-year-old range. But there's obviously a need for the older kids. So the definition of toy for this event is by no means like the dictionary. We would gladly take sports equipment, adult coloring books, stuff that's kind of geared towards the older kids. I know the Interval Home has said that there is kind of a bit of a need there for that sort of stuff. So by all means, we'd take donations for the older kids as well.
All right, thank you for this. And we are going to have some more from back here, continuing with the 2% Realty Toy Drive this weekend. But before that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Minus 11 currently here in Lloydminster with fairly cloudy skies. Throughout today, it was pretty nice out. We did see some clear skies, but it has started snowing, just lightly falling over the last hour and a half. Winds pretty slow, pretty calm at 5 kilometers per hour coming in from the northwest, but it's making it feel like closer to minus 14 with that wind chill, and the snow lightly falling down won't help it cool off. Across the region, minus 10 in Cold Lake, minus 13 in Rocky Mountain House, Whitecourt, and Athabasca, minus 11 in Edmonton, minus 12 in Red Deer, Edson, and in Jasper. And on the Saskatchewan side, minus 9 in Meadow Lake, minus 7 in Prince Albert and Melfort, minus 6 in Saskatoon, and minus 8 out in North Battleford. Overnight in North Battleford, pretty cloudy skies overnight, and the temperature will drop to minus 11, and the wind will pick up to 11 kilometers per hour coming in from the east-northeast, and then tomorrow it'll pick up to 20 kilometers per hour coming in from the east with a daytime high of minus 6 and a fairly cloudy day. In Cold Lake overnight, it'll drop down to minus 13 with that wind at 9 kilometers per hour coming in from the southeast. And then tomorrow, a daytime high of minus 7 with that wind picking up to 13 kilometers per hour coming in from the east and a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day. Here in Lloydminster overnight, it'll be minus 12 with that wind at 9 kilometers per hour coming in from the east, which will pick up to 13 kilometers per hour coming in from the east as well at a daytime high of minus 7 with mostly cloudy skies. And then on Friday, there's a 56% chance of some snow with a high of minus 7 and a low of minus 11. And then to start your weekend off on Saturday, it will be a high of minus 7 and a low of minus 11 with mostly cloudy skies, but there isn't that large chance of snow for Saturday. That wraps up your 3-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Farm Credit Canada says Canada still has room to expand and diversify beyond its largest traditional markets for its top 4 agriculture exports. In its latest trade report, FCC says growing protectionism, distance and price sensitivity is creating challenges for wheat, canola, soy and pulses. It says the long-term success of Canadian agriculture relies on the ability to provide a greater diversity in commodities and food products for new and existing export markets. The report says for canola, further growth in exports to Europe is possible, and soybeans perhaps represents the best opportunity for Canada to further diversify export markets. For pulses, European and Middle Eastern import markets hold the most potential for diversification. FCC is a Crown corporation with a loan portfolio of more than $36 billion. And now here are your agriculture prices for today.
We're a part of less than 5% of Canadian auto body shops and Lloydminster's only locations with certified collision care recognition at City Centre Auto Body.
In the sports world, the Lakeland College men's and women's basketball teams each split series over the weekend, heading into their last games before the semester break. Our Evan Kenny will break down how important these games are for the Rustlers.
Friday night's stomp down left the Rustlers on the wrong side of the scoreboard. The women lost for the first time since the season opener and lost by 21 at that, while the men, they didn't fare much better.
At practice this week, the Rustlers are focusing on a few key things.
Get back to the basics, fundamentals of what we need to do to win, defense, rebounding, and our offensive game.
Taking on the Grand Prairie Regional College Wolves, nothing can be taken lightly. Each of the Wolves teams only has one win on the season, and both occupy the basement of the ACAC North.
We have some young players that are playing well. Hopefully our veteran presence will help us in these games and kind of carry us through.
With the semester break coming up, every win is crucial in order to make it into playoffs.
The semester break equals the halfway point through the ACAC season, and if the Rustlers want to cross up competition, they're going to need to find and keep their A game.
We have to work on executing our stuff better, so that's our main thing, is execution. It was mostly just getting in there and making layups and hitting our open shots.
We took our mistakes, and then now we know what to do in a close game, or we just had our lesson.
The women could drop as low as third place from first if they were to get swept, and the men could jump up or down by one spot. Evan Kenny, Primetime Local Sports.
And now to our Abby St. John with your weather update.
Thanks, Judy. Well, taking a look at our satellite radar, there's nothing too severe to report on. It has been lightly snowing here in the border city over the past couple of hours. But hopefully that will clear up by tomorrow morning, and it's not a super heavy snowfall. It's just very light and should melt as it falls to the ground. North Battleford, Macklin, Maidstone experiencing some snow over the past couple of hours and into this evening, but nothing too severe. Southern Alberta is some regions in southern Alberta are under a storm or a snowstorm warning down there, but up here it's pretty safe, not a whole lot of snow happening. Across the region, -11 here in Lloydminster, as well as in Vermilion, Bonnyville, Lac-La-Biche, Provost, and Edmonton, -13 in Wainwright and Vegreville, -12 in St. Paul, -10 in Cold Lake, and -14 in Marwayne. And on the Saskatchewan side, -8 in Isle Cross, -9 in Green Lake and Meadow Lake, -11 in Pearson, St. Walburg, -12 in Maidstone and Macklin, and -8 in North Battleford. And then tomorrow, -7 is the daytime high here for Lloydminster, as well as Maidstone and Pearson, -6 in Macklin and in North Battleford and St. Walburg, -5 in Meadow Lake and Green Lake, and -8 in Isle Cross. And on the Alberta side, -6 in Provost, Wainwright, Vermilion, and Marwayne, -7 in Vegreville, St. Paul, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, -8 in Lac-La-Biche, and -10 out in Edmonton. And overnight across the region, doesn't look like there's a lot of chance of snow in a lot of the region. Isle Cross, Paradise Hill, and Miriam looks sitting pretty clear overnight. Wainwright, Unity, and Provost have quite a bit of cloud coverage overnight. And then the rest of the region is a mix of cloud and clear skies. Temperatures ranging between -10 and -14. Your school day forecast for tomorrow at 8 a.m. it'll be -12 with mostly cloudy skies. And then by the time recess rolls around, it'll warm up to -10 with a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds. Then by the time lunch rolls around, it'll be -8 with more sun peeking out and a little less cloud coverage. But unfortunately, that cloud coverage will come back by the time school is out, where it will be -7. And then it'll be -12 overnight for tomorrow. And then Friday, there's a 56% chance of some snow with a high of -7 and a low of -11. And then on Saturday, it's mostly cloudy day with also a high of -7 and a low of -11. Then on Sunday, there's going to be a little bit more sun than on Saturday with a high of -7 and a low of -14. Then to start your week off on Monday, it will be a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day with a high of -4 and a low of -12. Tuesday, there will be a lot more sun and a little less cloud with a high of +2 and a low of -6. And then on Wednesday, it'll go right back up to cloudy skies with a high of -1 and a low of -6. That wraps up your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news than the question of the day coming up after the break.
Welcome back. It may still be November, but Christmas music is already making its appearance at malls and on the airwaves. But a new study says more than half of Canadians think it's too early.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
According to the poll, 52% of Canadians think carols shouldn't be played until after December 1st. But once that date hits, more than 40% say they'll stay in a shop longer to listen to festive tunes. Only 13% of Canadians say they can't stand Christmas music anytime, anywhere. And spreading more Christmas joy is our Eric Bay, who's on location today.
Back here once again at 2% Realty, checking out their toy drive happening this weekend. Once again, their second year putting this on, and I'm joined here again by Katrina and Olivia McDonald. And so we mentioned second year you guys have put this on. So can you talk about the response from the community in that first year?
Definitely. Last year we did it as a very last minute, spur of the moment kind of idea. So we only had about a month to plan. Luckily, the theater really jumped on board quick, so we were able to execute it with very, very little time. We had about 75 to 80 people come through the door last time. This year, with it being Frozen 2 and having a lot more time to plan, we're definitely expecting a lot more people. So we actually have 2 theaters prepped. We've also teamed up with Joyous Occasions, who's coming down to do some decor. We have the Enchanted Princesses, Anna and Elsa, coming out of Edmonton, and our listing photographer is going to be on site doing photos for everybody as well. So doors open at 9:30. The show doesn't start till 11, but I understand Anna and Elsa are quite popular. You are definitely going to want to get there early. We want to make sure we get everybody through and able to kind of see the princesses and into the theaters so that we can start the show at 11.
Yep, definitely tons of stuff going on, so for sure want to be there early. And now we talked a little bit earlier about how you guys have partnered with the Interval Home this year. So can you talk about the importance of getting these toys here donated, and especially it staying here in the community?
For sure. This year we are doing a partnership with the Interval Home. Last year we did the Olive Tree. One of the reasons why we decided to go ahead and team up with these 2 organizations over the last couple of years is just because with working in real estate and with how the economy has definitely shifted in our area, we definitely see that there is more of a need now than there has been before. And thanks to the support of the community, we've been able to have a couple really good, successful years, especially with starting a business and not such a great time. So we really wanted to find a way to give back to the people in our community that would definitely need the help. So the Interval Home will look after collecting all the donations for us. We're actually going to be taking them all over there afterwards. They'll distribute them out to their clients, and then I know that they also work with the school divisions and stuff like that too, so that if there is a surplus of toys, they will find a home for all of them with somebody that needs them.
Definitely a very great cause. Thank you for sharing this with us today, and we are going to have some more from back here again, continuing with this weekend's toy drive. But before that, we're going to head back into the studio.
Abby, it's that time again for question of the day. The question was, President Donald Trump signed a bill that makes animal cruelty a federal felony. And the question was, should Canada follow suit? And I think that's great. Whatever you think about President Donald Trump, that is awesome. I love it, and I think we should follow suit. And I think we have something like that, but not quite as extensive.
And it's also not as, I guess, penalized as harshly as it should be. If you're abusing an animal, whether it be a pet or farm animals that aren't used as food, you should face jail time and fines because you're bringing them into your home. They're trusting you because you're all they know, and you're beating them, you're using them in fight rings, you're abusing them, you're not feeding them. you deserve to go to jail.
Yeah, there's so many different levels of abuse in terms of when you're having a pet, right? Emotional and other things that you can do to your pets as well too. But you know, it's one of those things we have. Like later on, we're going to watch a little thing about the kids that abused that dog and is up for adoption and had to be rushed to the hospital. I think there has to be penalties that are extreme and make people to, you know, completely stop abusing pets.
Exactly.
Yeah. And people that are not abusing pets, that love pets, are the ones that sent us the pictures for a chance to win a gift card from the Pet Pad. Take a look at these cuties.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Lonnie Boothman from Fur Babies Forever Homes is with us today, and Lonnie has a special guest. Oh my gosh, thank you for bringing her. Tell us a little bit about Marie.
This is Sweet Marie. She was rescued a couple weeks ago. We got a call that she was in respiratory distress, so we rushed out to the northern community she was in and got her to the vets. And the vet, it was on a weekend, and they couldn't really do anything here. We needed to take her to a bigger hospital, so we had to rush her to the U of S. And they actually found macaroni all in her nasal passage.
Oh my goodness.
And so she was all swollen all in here, and they had to do a scope and flush and get all the debris out of there. And it's taken a week now, 2 weeks, I guess we've had her. And
she's okay now?
Yeah, the swelling's gone down.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's a sweet little baby.
Well, and Lonnie, you were saying that's one of the things, the need, because you guys are all run by donations, things like this happen. And to save, you know, cute little girls like this and all the other animals you deal with,
yes,
you need donations.
Definitely do need donations. We get no government funding, no city funding. Absolutely, all of it is just by the members and us that all the volunteers and stuff. We are all volunteer based as well, so none of us get a wage or anything like that. So your donation strictly goes to the vet bills to be able to get these people back up, these ones all back healthy.
And the cost of operating everything that goes with that,
yes,
of course.
Exactly.
Now, heading out into Christmas, obviously it's a busy time. She's going to be up for adoption, you figure, in about a week.
Yeah, about a week.
But with puppies comes feeding and all kinds of other things, right? So what type of things, if people would like to donate besides cash, would you guys like?
We go through a lot of puppy chow. We have a lot of puppies, especially this time of year. Mamas all were having babies, and so our list is a mile long of dogs needing to come into the rescue. We just took another one in yesterday that was outside cold, hugging up to a school. So we're at capacity now. We have about 6 kennels running with different animals in there. A lot of medical cases. We took a dog that had been shot, and so we've had him for about 3 weeks now, and he's doing really well. Another one just the other day that has parvo. She is still at the vets.
Yeah.
So yeah, it costs a lot of money. Vet bills are not cheap,
No.
and that's the only way we can function is by the donations.
And what about volunteers? Do you need volunteers at this point, or do you have kind of your good core of people?
We always need volunteers. We're foster based.
Right.
So once the dogs and puppies have been isolated in our building for 2 weeks, we make sure they don't have any diseases, like I said, the parvo and distemper, giardia, that type of thing. Once we are sure that they're clear of that, then they can go into people's homes, which is our foster homes. And so we do have probably about 60 foster homes within a 100-mile radius of Lloydminster, but we're always looking. That's the only way we can bring more in is by getting them put in fosters or them getting adopted.
Right. Which, I mean, look at a face like that for Christmas, hey?
Yeah, isn't she cute? She's a sweetie.
And you have an event this Saturday.
Yes, we have actually Santa Paws. So come on down to Lakeline College. We're going to be there from 10 to 2 at the Lloydminster campus. We got Santa, bring your pets, bring your family, and we're going to be doing pictures for $20. And again, all that money again goes to vet bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is something that's not going to go away.
No, exactly.
And you had an opportunity this week to work with some students from Lakeland College too. So tell me a little bit about that and how that's going to work.
Those students, I had 3 of them come volunteer for us for a day. And we also do take Holy Rosary students.
Okay.
They need volunteer hours as well.
Yeah.
So my grandson even volunteered for us so he could get his hours. These 3 students, we actually took them out on a rescue.
Okay.
So they are a little more privileged than the most volunteers. We don't take all our volunteers out, but for a whole day to have these volunteers come with us, we actually took them on a rescue. We took them to the building, showed them what
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and we have one of them wanting to volunteer now.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, so the bottom line, Lonnie, donations of food, fosters, especially
Yes.
through Christmas,
Yes.
volunteers. If anybody wants information on any of this, what's the best way for them to find that?
They can either go to our Facebook site or to our website. So
Okay.
it's furbabiesforeverhomes.com or Fur Babies Forever Homes on Facebook. And we've got currently about 25 dogs available for adoption.
Okay.
We have probably about 15 that need fosters right now
Okay.
currently. So yeah, if you want to fill in an application, go to our website. You can, there's adoption and foster applications as well as volunteer applications on there as well.
Okay, and once again, little sweet Marie here will be up for adoption.
Yeah, in about a week.
In about a week. So
Yes.
they can also get a hold of you through that site for if they're interested in her as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well thank you, Lonnie. We appreciate you coming in so much. Just amazing the work you guys do, and we hope that everything goes well over the holidays for you.
Okay, you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, it's Justin Marshall from Hot 101.3 and Boom 95.3. And here's what's happening around the Lakeland. Well, we're at the gift shop today in Bonnyville, Alberta, in the hospital, and they're having gift shop open houses for the Christmas season tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. The Bonnyville Ladies Hospital Auxiliary putting this on, catching up with Olive Martin, who's part of it. We got the times on the screen. Olive, what are some of the things that the people can get if they come down to the gift shop?
Oh, there's quilting, lots of quilts, table runners. This is a donation from our quilting guild here in Bonnyville. We also will have a next to new table where people have donated Christmas articles that they no longer need, and they will be for sale. We have new baby blankets and bibs and all those kinds of things.
We got the poster at facebook.com/boom953. Olive, why do you keep doing this?
Well, to raise money to buy supplies for the hospital. Our aim is to provide customer service and make sure that patients are comfortable. And this year we are buying a birthing bed and worth $15,000. And then we've bought new lights for babies with jaundice and new cribs and all that for them.
Fantastic stuff. Olive, thank you so much for everything you do in the community and for joining us.
Thank you very much for advertising us.
And if you have an event you would like to feature on What's Happening, shoot me an email, jmarshall@stingray.com.
We're joined today by Amanda Perret, the Mama Coach Lloydminster. Amanda, thank you for coming back and speaking with us today. We have some exciting news about a course that the Mama Coach is offering here in Lloydminster for newborns specifically. So tell me a little bit about what this involves and how people can get connected with it.
So the newborn course is new to the Mama Coach. So what it is it's a series of videos where we basically walk mamas through feeding, sleep, and soothing their newborn baby. And kind of what to expect. It's educational for educational purposes, and it comes along with an ebook that has 14 different chapters on all the things. So basically, I will supply them with a link, and then they pay for the course. And beyond that, they can get email, phone support. On top of that, if they need me to come to their house and help them with their newborn, I can absolutely do that too. If they have any questions kind of when they're going through the course, they can also talk to me as well. So it's very feed focused. So we look at bottle feeding and breastfeeding, making sure that your baby is getting effective feeds, and what does that look like to a new mom, right? And this course is for all moms. Every baby is so different, right? And we also teach them how to get their baby to sleep.
Okay, very important.
Very important. We also talk about soothers. We talk about colicky babies, you know, the babies that are beyond fussy, that are hard to deal with. And we also talk a lot about what to do with that baby when that baby gets fussy. You know, what can we help to kind of pass the time? How can we get that baby to settle? These videos will go through that.
So at what stage of pregnancy should these be, or should they be, get them before the baby is born, or do you want to wait till the baby is born and then, you know, like a month or a couple weeks after, or does it really matter?
So they get access for quite a while to the videos. They get to keep the PDF to kind of refer to, and they can of course ask questions all the time. So the end of pregnancy is perfect to start the course. But we kind of want you to get to know your baby for the first couple weeks while you're home. There's lots going on, lots of information from the hospital. So we want, after about 2 weeks, to kind of start taking the course and learn about your baby.
Now there's always the joke that, you know, kids don't come with a manual, but I guess maybe now that they actually do.
Yes, yes, this will be a very helpful tool for all moms.
And would this have been something that even, you know, with yourself having 4 children might have been helpful for you to have? Now that you've been through what you've been through, and the fact that you're a nurse, having kind of something like this where it's all packaged into one?
Absolutely, this would be phenomenal, yeah.
And what kind of material, where is it sourced from? Is it like doctors and nurses that provide this, or is it all just based on experience?
So some of it is based on experience, and it's created by the CEO of the Mama Coach, who is a lactation consultant and has years and years of experience in labor delivery and working with newborn babies.
So it's coming from a source of somebody who really has the experience.
Yes, and the science of sleep, of course, covers our newborn sleep program.
Well, and even going through as a new parent, and especially a first-time new parent, I think having somebody like yourself that they can reach out to during this course might be helpful too. You know, I hear people talk about, okay, well, they've had second and third babies, and it's, you know, you kind of get the hang of it. But especially for first-time moms, is this something that would be really, really valuable?
Absolutely, yes. Just knowing my own experiences, being a registered nurse, it was kind of like day 3 when I got home. I was like, what do I do with this baby? And you know, lots of babies go through that fussy period, and I didn't know what to do. And I reached out to a few sources who, you know, basically told me this or that, right? And there's only so much you can learn off Dr. Google, right? So this is very helpful for not just first-time moms, but also like moms with 2 or 3 or 4 kids, because it could be that third baby that's extra fussy, right? And you have other babies to care for too.
So Amanda, how do people access this course and purchase it?
So they can get in contact with me. So they can email me, they can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, Amanda the Mama Coach Lloydminster, as well as it is available on the Mama Coach website.
Okay, so basically just search it up, and that's the best way to get the information.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Amanda. We appreciate you joining us as always.
Thank you.